Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I wanted to do something a little bit different, so I thought I would show you guys what my self-tanning routine is. I know that when it comes down to choosing a self-tanner, it's always really difficult, especially if you're a beginner, just because there are so many out there and so many that promise to do things for you when they actually don't. I have tried out plenty, let's just say plenty, of self-tanners in my day. This one actually is my new favorite right now. So the tanner that I am talking about today is called TanCeuticals, and the type that they sent me is called the CC Color and Correct Self-Tanning Body Mousse in Dark. I didn't even have any high expectations for it. I was like, you know what, it's just another self-tanner, whatever. But this one is actually the best that I have ever used, and I will go over all of those reasons in just a minute. But I wanted to go over my process of self-tanning, and this is the same for any type of self-tanner that you use, not just this one specifically. So I'm going to throw in some cuts in and out of the video just to show you guys kind of what I do. First things first, I always like to start out by scrubbing and exfoliating my skin. This is going to get rid of all the dead skin cells that are left on the top layer of my skin and get rid of any old tan that is still left over as well. So I recommend using like a loofah or a scrub brush, or some companies also have like a little mitt that has scrubby on it. I actually have one of those and I really like using that. I just get in the shower, and towards the end of the shower, after I've washed my hair and everything and my skin is softened up a bit, I'll just put some soap on the scrubby brush and rub in circular motions all over my body. And a lot of the time you can even see like the old tanner and stuff washing off your body, which sounds like kind of gross, but at least like you're starting fresh and everything's nice and smooth, and this means that you're going to get the most even distribution with the color as possible. Once I get out of the shower and after I've been all exfoliated, I make sure to not apply lotion. I only apply lotion to my hands, feet, knees, and elbows, just because those areas of skin are a little bit more dry, a little bit more thick, and they grab the color. So this is to ensure that you get an even color between your hand and your arm, so it doesn't get, so, you know, it's like sometimes the colors will cake up around this area, especially in here, especially around here. And so in order to prevent that from happening, I like to moisturize those areas first. Personally, I like to apply the tanner in soft circular motions with a tanning mitt. I don't like to use my hands just because I don't find that I work fast enough, so when I go to wash it off my hands, they're still kind of stained. So I would definitely recommend a tanning mitt. I just put about a pump or so on it, and then work in small areas starting from my feet and working up my body. A secret tip that I learned through my self-tanning days is to use a buffing brush, like a makeup buffing brush, to go over your feet, hands, fingers, and get in all the crevices, and even for my entire face. That is what I use to apply the tanner. I just squirt it a little bit right on the brush and then go over those areas, and that gives it a more buffed out appearance. It doesn't lay it on as thick in those areas. And like any other areas you might have where you see a little bit of streaking, just go ahead and buff those out before it dries. Once I have my tanner completely applied, I like to get into comfy, loose-fitting clothing and just sit around for a while. I just kind of hole up in my room, watch a movie, watch some Netflix, chill for 6 to 8 hours. Or I'll put it on before I go to sleep at night, and then in the morning I will wash it off. So when it comes to washing it off, it's really, really important to get in the water and just let the water run over your body and wash it off that way. You can lightly rub your skin, but don't scrub your skin, don't use soap, just because the DHA is still working and it's still making your skin a little bit darker. So you want to leave that on and as long as possible and let that all sink in, but just get off the excess basically. And then once I get out of the shower, I make sure to pat my skin dry with the towel. I don't rub, because any kind of exfoliation is going to make your tanner begin to come off. We want this to last as long as possible. So in order to make it last as long as possible, it's also important to always moisturize your skin after a shower. I try to moisturize my skin once in the morning and once at night. Personally, I like to use a body butter first. I use a body butter all over my body. It's very thick, it's very moisturizing. It helps hold in the moisture and keep my skin nice and soft, and The more moisturized your skin is, the less likely it's going to be shedding. So that also makes it last as long as possible. So once I put on my body butter, I like to add a second layer, and this is just a little trick of mine and personal preference for me. Once I let the body butter sink in, I like to go over my skin with a body oil because I feel like it helps hold all of that moisture in. It adds a little bit more, and it also makes your skin look really nice. And so I really like to use this one by Victoria's Secret. It's called the Weightless Body Oil, and the scent is coconut milk. I don't believe that they still have these. This came out maybe last summer, and I absolutely just loved the scent. And so when they had their semi-annual sale, they were all on sale for like $8 or something, so I bought like 3 of them. So I still have one left, but personally any body oil will work. I do like the Victoria's Secret ones though, and I love coconut. If you choose to do so and want a darker finish from your tanner, I would recommend applying a second coat after you wash off your first coat, or even just applying more than once a week. I tend to apply my tanner twice a week just because I like a little bit darker but not too crazy, and I liked it a little bit more spaced out. So I do it generally on like Tuesdays and Fridays, or something around there, like the beginning of the week and then the beginning of the weekend. Okay, so now let's get into the review and my thoughts on this product. First of all, the color. The color that it gives you is so natural. Like, I almost can't believe how natural of a tan it is. It is not orange. The color is amazing. It looks very natural, like as you can see. I don't know if you could tell from before I started tanning, but I am very, very white. Or even if you watch my Beetlejuice video, you see how white I am without tanner on. And then this is just one application. I experienced no streaking or patches when it came to this tanner. As you can see, like even my arms, everything just looks very smooth and even. And generally when I use a tanner, I get like a line right here. So this for me is A+. The self-tanner also fades very naturally, which is also an important part when it comes to picking a self-tanner. Generally, self-tanners, especially if they're thicker, they'll start to come off in patches right in this area here. You'll see like a giant patch where it's like uneven. You can see the lightness of your skin, and then also the tanner where it hasn't come off. Any of the creased areas of your body, so there, just under your armpits, between the girls, and also on your feet and behind your knees in general is where it would get patchy. And I have seen none of that so far. Another important thing is the smell. The smell of this is like cocoa butter and coconut, and it just smells amazing. And that is very, very important because the DHA smell is just like, sometimes it's very nauseating, it's very overpowering. I didn't experience any of that smell until just before it was time for me to wash it off. I could smell it a little bit. And the last thing that I wanted to talk to you guys about is the color guard. The color guard on this is awesome. It makes your skin look like, it's like how the name says, it's like a CC cream, like it corrects your skin. It really does. When you apply it, it looks like it smooths out the tone and texture of your skin. And it shows up enough so that it looks natural, but you can see where you're applying it so that you're not over applying it, you have no streaks, etc. This product also dries very quickly, which if you are kind of slow could be a little bit bothersome, but I feel like you could work with this pretty easily. Like, it doesn't dry that fast, but it dries quickly enough, and when it does dry, it actually does not feel sticky, this is the only product I've ever experienced not feeling sticky after applying it. Any other one would always feel a bit like very, just like it didn't dry fully in any creases on my body, basically, and it just would feel really gross. I know that some people with products like that don't dry would use like a translucent setting powder to kind of like dry it out. So that was also a big plus for me. So overall, I love this tanner. I will continue using it for as long as I can, for sure. And I will definitely repurchase it, and I more than recommend it to you guys. So that is it for this video. I hope that this was helpful for you, and let me know what other self-tanners you guys like to use in the comments below. I would love to know and maybe even try out a few of them. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe so that you can catch my next video and all the videos to come. And I will see you guys next time. Bye!